growing up. They were very absent parents. I mean, like we said, I mean, we just didn't have any around.
Cocaine, pills, cigarettes,
Titties.
and booze. It was worse. I think the drugs were worse with him.
Because she doled out some ass whoopings.
Toughest woman I've ever met.
Toughest woman I ever met.
Mean as shit.
But halfway to the physical conditioning platoon, and he looked at me and he goes, "Hey, you really want to go here?"
Bo Marshall Bundy, my cousin, who, since I was spit out of the womb in September of 1976, has been my road dog. So I go way, way back with the cuz, and lucky enough that, much like Bo living across the valley over in Hurricane, for those of you who think it's Hurricane, here in West Virginia we call it Hurricane, Bo lives down the street in Eleanor. Really nice place down there, except for the Eleanor Tutors, which I've slayed them on enough reviews that I probably will never go there to get a biscuit again, because it'll probably get spit on.
You're going to get the Yelper Elite, that's for sure.
Am I the Yelper Elite?
You are.
So we've been wanting to get Cuz on the show and talk a little bit, just about West Virginia coming up and the shared experiences we had growing up in West Virginia, the travels in between, and how we ended up back here, man.
So you all came up rough. That's not something that is up for debate.
No, I don't think it is. Really, really weird, but we can delve into that.
You want to start there? Just talk about growing up in West Virginia and feeling like you're fending for yourself.
Our mothers really like to fucking party. Okay.
Yep.
Now, what's weird is
It was the 80s.
It was the 80s. Our grandmothers, or our grandmother, had some children by a few different men. And in the middle of those children was my mother. Now, she had 6 kids?
Yeah.
6 kids. My mother was the only one that was given up for adoption. And she was sent out to an elderly couple that raised her. And she grew up kind of a spoiled, really good life. Well, at about 15, 16 years old, she found out she had an older sister. I think your mom's 4 years older, 5 years older?
Yeah, a few years.
A few years older than my mom. So right at about, 15, 16, I know my mom had a Cutlass Supreme that was bought for her. And from there, they met each other.
She had more cars bought for her than any woman.
Yeah. My mom had another story. My mom had a history of DUIs. I think she lost her license in 1981.
Never stopped her from driving. Not a day.
So they were hitting the roads, running, partying, doing their thing.
So you got the outlaw blood in you. Outlaw, that's what they call it.
They were out of fucking control, buddy.
Yeah.
I think that without even mixing.
Well, I'll put it this way: we were probably, I'm not quite a year older than JC, so 10 and 11 years old, we would be left with his brother, who was at the time 5?
Yeah, he's 5 years younger than me, so yeah.
So yeah, 5 years old, left for an entire weekend, and we would basically be handed Domino's money, and that's what we survived on was Domino's. We had eggs, ham, and bread, and Domino's. And they would show back up.
Watch this. 304-343-2699. That is the number to Domino's Pizza.
Still to this
in
day.
North Charleston, West Virginia. So that was our weekend survival, man. So
a lot of raising ourselves.
Yeah.
Raised each other.
yeah.
So they would just straight up give you Domino's
Oh
money
man,
and say, see ya.
Listen, if we were
Sure. That was pretty much, exactly right. See, that's how it came back was, here's your money. Don't destroy the house, which rarely happened. We always got fucked up when they got back. But, I mean, what are you going to do when you leave an 11 and a 10-year-old up to their own damn devices with money?
Yeah. It was like when my mother divorced my dad they started falling apart when I was about 6. So I would get myself dressed for school, and I'd end up going to school.
You took your brother to school.
I did, and I had to help get my brother ready for school. I would get my brother ready for school. And, once my mother was divorced, your mom had been divorced. It was cocaine binge city.
Buddy.
And we knew.
I don't ever want to hear Fleetwood Mac again.
No, we knew a Friday evening, me and my cousin are pacified because Thursday evening, they would go to Bennigan's and get shit-faced.
And that's how we
And then we would both get like $15 a piece. So we would go buy about 3 or 4 G.I. Joes a piece, and then we'd steal 3 or 4.
Yeah.
They would pacify us on a Thursday to bribe us to not fuck the house up on the weekend. Friday comes for them to go out and end up doing their party, and it was a mix of Hall & Oates, Journey, and Fleetwood Mac. And these two hookers were getting ready to hit the streets. Now, sometimes Sunday...
Some motherfucker was getting fleeced.
Somebody was getting fleeced. Some dude was getting taken.
Somebody was getting taken to the
So,
cleaners.
Sunday evening, here comes...
They weren't bad-looking women.
No, but here comes Sunday evening. These two train wrecks come rolling in.
Still high.
Mad, too. And Monday, they would both just lay in bed until probably 7 in the evening, and then you would see them stir. Now, of course, we miss school on Monday because we have no supervision, and we're somewhere at about 9, 10, 11 years old. So, all this crazy shit goes on. Well, what happens over time is the resource, the money, the amount of fleecing that they did to adult men.
The quality of men.
Yeah, the quality of men and the frequency in which they tried to be not even a good mom, but just a marginal...
A good human
went away. So...
Still got worse with time.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, you take my mother, for example. She was sweet as could be when she was young, always sweet, but if she was talking, she was lying. So that was the only bad thing about my mother when I was young. You never knew. It was, oh, honey, we'll be there to get you at 5. She didn't show up till 4 days later.
Yeah.
That's that's kind of how we were raised. I mean, I lived throughout my high school career. I lived at your house.
You lived up on the west side.
I lived on the west side. I lived with
South Hills,
the Boulevard, the Merrifields. I mean, I was kind of a gypsy kid, so to speak. I lived where I could. It was amazing that we even got through high school, to be honest with you.
If you were an Arab, they call you a Bedouin.
Right.
Because setting up the Bedouin camp.
Right.
So it was weird. His mom was neglectful as to where she would just, here's $100, doesn't see him for 30 days.
Right.
Me, I have a roof, but I'm getting the shit kicked out of me when my mom comes in drunk or is partied or gets mad. So it was like, it was two different.
You took the blame for you and your brother all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Cuz comes in and there goes a fucking, whatever she could get her hands on is getting launched at me.
But I will say this about your mom. Out of all the men I watched her dole a beating to, you got the least of that.
Well.
Because she doled out some ass whoopings to some
toughest woman I've ever met.
Toughest woman I ever met.
Mean as shit.
Broke statues over people's heads.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she was a wild one.
She was rough, man. I remember me and the cuz, my buddies we'd be camping up on this abandoned house up above the hill. And we knew at 3 o'clock in the morning, we go ahead and get a front row seat at the driveway because whoever she's dating at the time is going to walk in that house and is going to get the shit kicked out of them at about 3:15. Right? So we got front row seats to MMA back in the early 90s. Early 90s, late 80s. Somebody was taking an ass whooping.
I saw your dad's skull get dented in from a statue. She cracked him and then clawed a 70-year-old man.
Yeah, she was wild, man. She
fly off the handle and get wild, boy.
Yeah.
My mom wasn't mean like that, but she was just neglectful, didn't care, very selfish human being.
Yeah. When she was beating people up, was it ever a good reason, or was she just spiteful?
In her mind,
it was a good reason.
Well, I mean, we were left for a weekend one time, me and the cuz, and this was our MO. We get our money we would plan our weekend out based off the cash they gave us, and usually there was some vandalism involved.
Yeah.
We would go down to Jiffy Mart, hit the old Indian guy up, ask him. We would get the eggs, cuz, tell him.
Buddy, we'd go in there and get 3 dozen eggs, and he goes, oh, what are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? We're making a cake. He knows good and well. My mom just rolled in there and got 3 packs of Virginia Slims and a bottle of white wine. There ain't no eggs getting made nowhere.
She ain't making no cake.
She's rolling out in the 5th Volvo my grandfather has bought her.
Yeah.
And she's getting ready with no driver's license, and she's going to be back in about 5 days.
In a fur coat.
Oh my God.
So they would disappear and go do their thing.
Yeah.
And
we'd go get our eggs.
We'd go get our eggs.
Our smoke bombs.
We would terrorize.
You had the greatest roof on the planet for doing shit.
Yeah. It was like call for fire. One of us would be on top of the roof spotting, and the other was behind the roof. So we were doing direct alignment. Cuz it's like over the chimney, pow. You'd see an egg smack a car, and a guy would hit the brakes. I know it's you little motherfuckers. Man, we'd scurry in the house.
Jump off that roof.
Jump off that roof, run up the hill. So we got a lot of bad, crazy shit out of us as we went through our teenage years. So, Cuz would bounce in and out, and that was always interesting. It was good for me because I'd be walking down, and out of nowhere, my cuz has been living somewhere else, staying somewhere for a couple weeks. I show up, and there's the cuz. What's going on, cuz? I'm like, man, nothing much. Cuz be there 2 or 3 weeks, and then he'd disappear again and come back in. But
so you were straight up just sleeping under the stars, or what was your deal?
No. So luckily, like I said, I had some good families. Obviously, some people that saw that my struggle. Other kids I grew up with their families, and and was luckily enough I was able to stay with some of them and get through high school, which I don't know how in the hell I did, but I did. 12 years and had to go back for almost half of one, but I got through. Without other people's help, I probably wouldn't have done it. I'd have been in prison.
When we were about 15, that's where we peaked being complete fucking hoodlums. Stealing shit, breaking stuff, acting a fool. Got put on probation.
Got juvenile probation.
Got juvenile probation, which was an absolute mess.
What was that for?
Rick A. Smoot.
Rick A. Smoot. I remember that fucking guy.
That was our probation officer.
Fat, angry douchebag. Looked like a fucking pedophile.
Oh, he tried to lock me up. He arrested me in high school my senior year for violation of probation.
So we got in trouble. I got sent away from West Virginia at one point to live in Virginia, which wasn't any fucking better. So then I end up coming back, and I think somewhere 16, 17, we got on like the Hulk Hogan thing. It's like, lift the weights, say the prayers, take your vitamins. We had got enough out of us to know, okay, this isn't the path we want to be on. But
at that time, girls were what mattered. That's what mattered.
Yeah, we're chasing the tail.
We're chasing the tail,
and
that's all that mattered at 16 years old.
So we somewhere around there, we're like, okay, I don't want this to be my life, but make no mistake about it. And this is for the young.
Well, we had the prime example of what not to do.
This is This is what I would share with like young people is, we get it. It's like we are lucky to have made it out of that, because I know a lot of guys we grew up with when they were at that 16, 17 year mark, they could have done or should have done, they didn't. They continued to double down on the dysfunction.
Or wait for something to happen. That's the biggest problem with kids, I think, today, is they're constantly make something happen.
Yeah.
Don't wait for it to happen.
Or somebody's going to do it.
Somebody's going to come along and give me a magical... It ain't happening.
And I know this. Not only is somebody not going to do it for me, there's probably going to be an adult motherfucker that's going to get in the way and make it even harder.
Right.
So that's what I try to capture with my kids is I'm here to support. I don't want to get in your way.
No, I did the polar opposite with my children. I've got 4 of them.
Yeah.
3 girls and a boy, and I've raised all my girls are productive. I have a Marine daughter.
Yeah.
That's been in now. She'll be done here in 6 months.
Yep. So we got where Josie is where? Josie is with MWSS 372, and she is an 04.
My embarker.
She's
my little embarker.
She's an embarker. And she's fitting in real well out there. She says she's got a really good shop, says her sergeant major's awesome. Her first sergeant's awesome. I think his name's Rice. First Sergeant Rice.
I hear about him.
Yeah, so if you're out there at MWSS 372, hey, thank you for supporting Josie. Josie, we love you, Semper Fi. You may be a short timer, but you're still a boot to all of us.
We love you, honey.
So, and with that, we talk about the growing up and breaking the cycle, and we talk about the Marine Corps roots. It's interesting. To add to all this, which we didn't understand at the time, is we had 2 out-of-control dads that were Marines and Vietnam vets.
You call them dads. I don't know. They were more like big brothers. With addictions and problems of their own.
Yeah, and to further paint a picture for the audience, our dads were both about 10 years older than our mothers.
Right.
So they decided they wanted to go. Imagine Seabass rolls up and he's going to go,
get him a 20-year-old.
Get a girl that just graduated high school.
That's about what it was.
And both of these guys, both of them have PTSD. Both of them have been Vietnam. Your dad was a Marine sniper in the Chu Lai province. And proud to say that he has 41 kills as a Marine.
43.
41 or 43. Don't quote me, but he's in the God book for kills in the Marine Corps sniper lore. So his dad was a badass in his tiger stripes, with his Winchester Model 40
and a cigarette, buddy.
and a cigarette hanging out of his mouth with a chewed up boonie. Stone cold killer, but probably absent at times. He probably shouldn't have been. Couldn't control those demons.
Right. He had a lot of parent issues. I think he was brought up kind of similar like us.
Yeah.
Lived a lot of gypsy life with his aunt and all over the place.
Yeah.
So for me to come up that way to him, it was just normal.
Yeah.
No, once he got, I had kids and things, and he would come out and visit in Phoenix where I lived, and he would come out there and see us. And he always enjoyed the kids, but he'd always look at me drinking his beer. He'd drink about 24 of them a day, and he'd look at me and he'd say, I don't know how the fuck you do it. There ain't no way I could do this. And I'd go, what? He'd just go, be a family man. I can't do it.
No, clearly that's not in the cards.
He was married 5 times.
Yeah.
3 Sandys, and he just he had a rough one, man. He had a rough one. He had his own demons, and I'm sure Vietnam was a good part of it, but the old man was tough.
Yeah.
He was tough.
He liked boobs.
Loved him some titties.
He loved some natural light. And he loved to tell some war stories.
Oh, I'd get off the plane to go visit him in Myrtle Beach. Where are we going to eat at? Well, we're going to go to the strip bar. Okay. Go in the strip club. And that's always a fun one, to go in the strip club with your stepmom and your dad. But it was always an adventure.
He's something else. And I will say...
But you'd get him with the chew lie. That always cracked
Buddy,
me
we're
up.
in a kitchen, and I look at my cousin and his brother-in-law, and his dad's in there telling war stories. I said, don't you go piping up about no combat. He turned around. I said, what AO was you operating, Ron? And up in the Chula, he goes, let me tell you something. He goes, there I was with my M14. The most I killed in one day was 8. We run the napalm on this patty. And he goes, they just kept coming out of this hole. And I piled up 8 of them. I said, were iron sights? He goes, hell no. I had a scope up on that M14. And he just ping, ping.
Yeah, he had no problem telling you anything about the war. Most vets, they don't like to talk about it. Dad was very candid about talking about it.
I liked how he had the Hulk Hogan skullet when he died.
Right.
Bald.
Right. He had the mullet. That's for sure.
So we're at his service. Of course, he didn't want a Christian burial. He wanted to have people at the
VFW.
At the VFW.
At the VFW. And right down the street from his house.
This is right before I retired. And I got to go, and I remember having my blues on. And that was an adventure in and of itself. And I remember I look over, and the color guard's there, Seabass. And there's one thing you don't want to be in the Marine Corps, and that is a double marksman.
Double pizza.
Double pizza box. That means you fucking can't fucking shoot. You suck, right? And I walk up, and I look at this kid in the color guard. Here I am, Marine gunner, right? And I'm like, it's a good thing he's fucking dead.
It's always sniper shit laid out on
Yeah, and I look at him, the kid's like, sir? Of course he's confused because I've got a gunner bomb, and he's like, has no idea what to say. And, I'm like, if he was here to see a kid in the color guard that was a double marksman, he'd be madder than a fucking hornet.
I'll never forget.
He'd be like, what the fuck's that kid over holding the flag? He can't even shoot.
I'll never forget graduating boot camp. And, obviously I went to boot camp. I weighed about 168 pounds. I graduated, I was 192. So I'd changed.
Yeah.
Put on some mass and.
Weren't bouncing from house to house.
Could eat good.
Could eat.
And that's crazy when you say you fucking boot camp was structured and you could eat.
I ate good at Paris Island.
Right. But anyways, he sees me, and first platoon come out, and he looks at me, and I hear my other sister, she yells down, that's him right there. Dad looks at me and he goes, that ain't fucking him. That ain't him. Well, I'll never forget, I get out to the fleet, and I'm at the PX, they give you the list to buy shit. I'm at the PX buying a bunch of shit as a boot, and I see this Death from Afar book sitting on the table. And I snatched it. And the only reason why I grabbed it is because my senior drill instructor on the cover.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool as shit. Here's my senior drill instructor on the cover of Death of Far. So I mail the book to my dad, call him, hey, I sent you a book. About a week later, I get a call. And he calls me to the duty hut. Some corporal yelling through the barracks for me. I go down there. He goes, hey, I got your book. I'm never going to read that motherfucker. It's a coffee table book. I said, well, I only got it for you because my senior drill instructor's on the cover. He said, did you open this book? I said, no. And he said, you should have, because your old man's on page 11.
Ain't that something?
That was great. So, and I've got the picture that was taken in Vietnam of that photo that's in that book. That was pretty cool.
It was good towards the end of his time. You got to,
rebond with him, because I'll tell you, man, I didn't like the man growing up. They were very absent parents. I mean, like we said, we just didn't have any around.
Cocaine, pills, cigarettes,
Titties.
and booze.
Titties.
And titties. That all came before being a parent.
Always.
You were probably number 6 on the list.
If I was that lucky.
Yeah. And then there's my fucking dad.
Your dad was a whole different breed.
Yeah.
He was wired for sound, boy.
Nothing good.
Johnny had his good qualities.
So it was worse. I think the drugs were worse with him. And the drugs
Prolonged.
Never quit.
Yeah, never
went to jail over it. But it was always the high. The high came before anything else. So there was never any. There was never any.
I don't think they were ever sober.
No.
I don't think any of our parents, any of the 4 ever were sober.
The problem with mine was, potentially especially in the later years, is, my dad thought he had the right to intrude, right?
He'd earned that right.
The PTSD.
That's one thing I will say. My dad did look at me one time and he said, you don't owe me a damn thing. I did. You raised yourself. Yeah. All I can be thankful for is that at least you got a positive work ethic. And then, that's one thing I can say about my dad that I did get. Yeah. I got the one thing out of my dad I got, and that was work ethic. Yeah. Because he would work. I never saw him. The man always worked. Yeah. And, to a flaw, of course, but, I try to, I don't call into work. I'm sick. I go.
Yep. Yeah, it was tough with mine, man. I think. And mine would try to follow me, tried to help him when he got out of jail. He made me when I was a drill instructor.
He helped him when he was sick.
Coming out of jail, helped him when I don't have time to help anybody,
And putting that on your wife, new wife too.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible, man. And then, of course, I end up in 3-6. I'm going back and forth to war a bunch of times, and it was always about him. And that's fine. I know old vets now want to tell their story, but it was just so intrusive. And then as the years went on, he'd get back on drugs and pills and issues. And like he would show up at my unit when I'm like a gunny,
Jacked up.
Fucked up. And like I was on a deployment. It's just like a in CONUS deployment. Like we're at AP Hill or Pickett. And the sergeant major's like, your dad was here looking for you. And I'm like, motherfucker. He's like, it's all good. It's all good, gunny. And then, and then here's the best one. This is how the kind of prick my dad was. It was, hey, I got selected for the Marine Gunner program. Oh man, that means you're not going to be a sergeant major.
Small minds.
It's like, love sergeant majors, right? I love E9s. Whoever makes a D9 probably had a really good fucking run, but just not recognizing that that's where my skill set sent me for good reason. Right. And just to not be able to go, man, that's a pretty big fucking deal. But he always made it tough. He always made it uncomfortable. And I remember we were kids. I got bullied a lot. People think that's crazy to say that I got bullied. Think that I got bullied.
But you didn't spend a lot of time with him as a teenager.
No, but getting bullied, I did have to live with him in Richmond, which was hell on earth.
Right.
I will go on record to say, behind Djibouti, Africa, Richmond's probably the shittiest places I've ever had to rest my fucking head. It sucked.
It's not getting any better.
It's not getting any better. Fuck Richmond. But no, he made it tough, man. And I never. It was the examples of other men and not what to be, because he was absent, man. All the times we'd be at the schoolyard, and I'd have to stand up for myself against 2, 3, 4, whoever it was. There was never an adult male behind me that said, "I got your fucking back." I look over and see the cuz, but there wasn't much else, man. So
you've always been a magnet,
buddy.
Buddy, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know. You've always had the magnet, man.
So Seabass idiots find me. I don't know if you knew that. I mean, of course, here's Seabass, right? The idiot. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I love me some fucking Seabass, but it doesn't matter where we go.
I've never seen anything like it. You find every one of them.
Tell them what happens. If you and me walk into a bar, what happens right now?
You're going to find one of them.
They're either going to want to be my friend.
Well, they're going to come up and probably try to talk to you about their experience as a mechanic in the Army and how they deployed. And then it's going to go south.
Well, they're going to
from there.
lie to you about
And then they're going to lie.
Sniper.
Or they're going to tell you there were a sniper in the Army and now they can't go back into the bar anymore.
The idiots find me.
They do find you. They do find you.
So we get out of all of our trials and tribulations of our youth. I escaped Tyler Mountain. My cousin kind of just escapes the area. And we both find our way to the Marine Corps. And I think we both took those lessons and made good strides toward it. In our bloodline, we have a history of, you can't go look at a medical history because everybody abused their body. You certainly can't try to pattern us off of mental illness history, but we have, of all of our aunts, uncles, and the blood that we share, we have one successful relative older than us. And guess what the common denominator is?
MSG1.
Whatever the presidential HMX1.
HMX1.
Yeah, our Uncle Richard. Rich, if you're out there watching this, Semper Fi, our Uncle Richard was an MP that served with HMX1, and he crushed it.
He was,
with
Reagan.
Yeah, but the common denominator is he was a Marine.
He was a Marine.
And he's taken that, and he's lived a really...
Still doesn't come hang out with us, but...
Yeah, we love you, Rich. We're not too far away. Bring your ass on down from Montgomery. We'd love to hang out with you and have a beer.
Right.
But the Marine Corps, you can see the difference. I think the Marine Corps, or any type of structure, or any type of thing that puts you through, the fires of self-discipline, teamwork, and brotherhood. Anytime you go through something like that, you can't help but have that burned into your DNA. And
whether it's a friend or family, the bond's there.
Yeah, it makes you better. So,
it's my daughter. It's the same thing, man.
Yeah.
It's I won't say that she steps a different perch with others, but she definitely. There's not too many girls that make that decision.
I love it, man, because it's like she wants to go join the Navy and get a job skill, and I said,
oh yeah.
And what did I say? I said, the Navy's great, but unless you're a chief or an officer, you don't really
junior enlisted. You get treated badly.
They don't get treated as good as the other servicemen.
Right.
He looked at me. I said, let me go have him. Let me have a Marine recruiter come and talk to her. And lo and behold, it's a female Marine,
100-pound staff sergeant.
Yep, and she
from Southern California.
And
area.
within one meeting, guess what? I think I want to be a Marine.
Right.
And that's where she went, man. And man, I'm grateful for it. I'm glad that she took that step. So we go through all that. Cuz finds himself out in Arizona doing his thing. I retire. I move back here to West Virginia. And it really worked out well for me because, as we know, Bo lives about 25 minutes from here. And cousin Bo lives about 10 minutes this way. So the guys that I'm closest to are here in West Virginia, man. So it's good to have that. It's good to have that interesting, diverse circle of jarheads, man. So to the point, it's almost weird when we hang out because people get intimidated by that. They're like, man, every time we have a get together, there's the 5 Marines sitting over together. Well,
and the sheriff.
And the sheriff. It's like, well, those are known. There's some common ground there that I can't explain, but sometimes you can't really explain it, and it makes people uncomfortable. But I wouldn't fucking trade it.
Right.
Well, that's something that's missing from our world now, is fraternity, brotherhood. It just doesn't exist, and so that's why...
I think humanity doesn't exist, Seabass. I think we've lost part of our... we want to protest and we want to have an opinion on everybody else's crap. How about let's just be good human beings?
That's it, man.
Let's not be... instead of all that energy wasting protesting and all that anger, why don't you put that towards some positive shit towards your family or toward the community or something?
Yeah.
You don't see that today.
Yeah. And I love it. Again, we talk about the amazing race of mediocrity that people run. The dumbest, most fucked up people that I know within this zip code have never left it. And they haven't done anything productive or good in this zip code, but they will completely black and white, pick your party affiliation. Most usually, though, it's the Democrat. It's black and white. It's always on this side, and they have an opinion on it. Oh, now all of a sudden you're a national security expert. You're this, you're that. Right. Or even the person on the right that just blindly MAGA Trump. Hey, that dude fucks stuff up too, right?
Right.
It's like, just stop. But the part that frustrates me is you have no business holding these these ideas and values, because guess what? You have no life experience to base this off of. Again, you've ran an amazing race of mediocrity. So with the Marine piece, or I guess this could be said for any veteran or any type of thing that creates that, is you've seen other things, you've seen struggle, and you've seen that it's not necessarily, it's not when you arrive, but it's the journey that got you there. They've never experienced that.
It's the overcoming of those obstacles.
It's the overcoming obstacles. Parents disappearing on a cocaine bench,
we created our own obstacles.
Sure.
And parents today, you look at some of these kids, and I mean, I've coached some basketball around here and stuff like that. And you get to see some of these kids, and you can tell that there's not a lot of parent involvement into that, not only social development, but that emotional development. The kids they're different. Than they were. And I mean, it's a lot of it is, they don't have any structure. I mean, you come home. When I came home, I didn't have much, but I would go to somebody else's house and eat. I made sure if I needed to do something, I asked them, hey, is there anything you need me to do? Can you need me to take the trash? I did more chores than their kids did. And that was, I think that's why I got to stay more than others, was because I did more, than their own children would.
You're earning your keep.
Right. Earning your keep. And I just always kind of came up that way. I never was handed anything. So earning a keep was always my thing. Right.
Yep. Yeah. It's interesting with these kids nowadays is, we play a little Street Fighter 2. Cuz was 99-1 against you, right?
Cuz I don't know how many of the fucking controllers I broke.
My cousin broke a lot.
You cheating,
No, I didn't cheat, buddy. I got you with the hand slap and a little toe kick with the sumo.
And be messing with me.
But even though we spent time playing that game, the priority was always going out and playing basketball. You and me would ride a bicycle to the far ends of the earth to get to third base and maybe hit a home run with some young lady.
Buddy, we were in cabs. We'd get to cab drivers. They knew us.
They knew us. Whatever it took, right? But we was always out and about. These kids nowadays, man, they if they go to get bullied, they just become more internal. They become weirder. We grow a weaker product because there's no forcing function to put them out there to have to.
I've made it very clear to my son. Do you ever get bullied? No. Okay. Well, if you ever do, punch him right in the mouth.
Yeah.
As soon as it happens, you're not going to get in trouble with me, because that usually stops a bully.
Right.
And
I'm really not worried what public schools say. I mean, your kid could get all A's and B's, and they'll say, "Oh, well, they need an education plan, or they need this." Right. It's like, I don't want to hear your bullshit. Right. I don't care what you say. That's a temporary thing. The permanent thing is my kid learning not to get bullied.
Right.
So stand up for yourself. Right. Now, our two youngest ones run together, and neither one of them are getting picked on.
Hell no.
Ain't
nobody bullying Allie.
No, my daughter's tough nut, man.
No, ain't nobody bullying Allie. Yeah. And I would think if she's with Cash, she's not going to anybody bully Cash.
Cash ain't getting bullied. The duck of death.
The duck of death. Yeah.
So I took him to tutors when they first moved from Arizona. And how old was he at the time? This has been 7 years?
9, 8, 9.
What'd you come back in? 20?
Yeah.
So 6.5 years. They roll up in here. I take him to tutors, and he's looking at the menu. He goes, "I want the duck." I'm like, buddy, Tudor's Biscuit World don't serve no duck. He goes, and he's getting belligerent with me.
Oh, he got angry.
Got mad at me. He was like 7.
And he sounded like an angry old man.
He's like, "I want the duck." I'm like, damn it, boy, I've done told you they don't serve
a duck.
They don't serve duck at the Biscuit World. And he goes, "I want the duck." And I go look, and I said, "The Duke?" He goes, "The duck." So now every time I see his son, I'm like, there he is, the duck of death from the Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, The Unforgiven. The duck.
He's the duck of death.
The duck of death. The duck of death. So, what else you got for us, Seabass?
Well, we can start turning to the next piece here, which would be how we like to always come around on these episodes we do, which is kind of like advice, a little bit more Q&A. Right? So you guys have laid out your story and been super honest with it. So let's just start there. What advice would you have to people regarding being honest with themselves about their own life and where they're at so that they can move on, just get the.
I'll let the wizard take this one first. He's good at this stuff. Go ahead.
Your habits determine your outcomes. Your habits determine your outcomes. And the younger you are, when you develop good habits, and watch this, self-discipline, right? Motivation comes and goes. Self-discipline will sustain you. You got to get up and you got to get after it, man. And you got to stay after it.
I would say this, keep your foot on the gas, and you'll hear people go, well, even so, I'll take 2 steps backwards. As long as you're pressing that gas pedal forward, you always go forward.
Yep. Yeah, you just got to keep grinding, man.
Keep grinding.
That's it.
Nothing's ever easy. Nothing good, whether it be fitness, life, anything, is going to come easy to you. It's never going to come easy. It's always going to be a struggle, and it's going to be tough. Some people don't struggle as much.
Yep. And you know, look, I take great pride here at this stage of my life when I see some jerk off that we grew up with that was a fucking punk.
Right.
And they're like, oh, you know, and I'm like, what's up?
Yeah, they're still working at the convenience store.
The great poet Phil Anselmo would say, walk on home, boy. Right?
Yeah, because
That's where I'm at, Seabass.
you guys have a lot of younger listeners now, and a lot of guys that are either getting ready to get out of the military or even haven't even begun their military journey yet. So I just wanted to give you guys a chance to throw them some wisdom.
I'd say if you're a boy, nobody likes a pussy.
Don't be a pussy.
Don't be a pussy. And what younger girls like to do, leave him alone. He's not bothering anybody. That's true. But you know what else he's doing?
He's not developing either.
He's not helping anybody. So I think going forward with all the craziness and weirdness in the world,
Stop softening manhood.
stop softening up men, boys that never become men.
Right.
They need to be exposed to things that are make them going to be gritty,
Hard decisions.
and tough, and be able to stand in the gap when adversity calls. And I don't know if that necessarily has to be with a kid joining the military or just being an everyday dude. Nobody likes a pussy.
No.
And for the young girls out there, just be a lady. Be a lady. That matters, right? No, but I don't want to hear. We can drop F-bombs all day long, but I don't want to hear some foul-mouthed, opinionated, fucking hothead girl talking about what she thinks she fucking deserves or what she offers.
4 different hair dyes.
Well, 4 different hair dyes. I don't want to.
I don't care. You don't have. You've not seen enough of life to even honest opinion. You're just spewing something
and
somebody else
if you're
taught you.
angry and bitter, right? There's a reason you're alone.
Right.
It ain't his fault.
Right.
Probably yours.
Yeah. Ain't your friend's fault either.
Ain't your friend's fault. So if you find again, I'm going to go to another Phil Anselmo reference. You cry to weak friends that sympathize.
There you go. There you go.
Don't do that. Go find somebody that loves you enough, honey, to tell you the truth. You know.
The guy that's not going to listen to your shit and want to pick you up, that's who you hang out with.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to, woe is me.
Yeah.
Misery loves company. Stay away from that. Surround yourself with people that you want to be.
I'm going that direction. You're welcome to go with me.
Right.
You're welcome to go with me.
Right.
You know.
How do you all avoid living with a victim mentality? Because both of you have every reason in the book to be a drug addict, to be a nobody, to just sit around feeling sorry for yourself for the way you was brought up.
I didn't have anybody to feel sorry for me, so I never was able to really be a victim. I knew I was, but I wasn't able to to own it.
No, it takes a lot to let people in, right? I knew from Jump Street I ain't got no fucking buddy. I knew it. Better get moving. Better get stepping.
Better
right?
make it on my own.
I'm gonna make it on my own. But you know, it's really nice to be again sitting here at this stage of life. Yeah, nothing. Self-made, man.
No, I mean, I couldn't be more. I mean, I never would have thought, I went back, 35 years from today, I would have never thought I would have, a wife, a beautiful wife, and 4 kids, and, I've owned 3 homes.
Yeah. Wife, 3
she
kids.
wants a new car.
Wife, 3 kids, business owner, right?
Right. I mean, it just, I would have never thought I would ever be here, nor going back that far would ever thought, my cousin would have become what he did with the Marine Corps. I mean, he did something that, a lot of guys only can talk about, right? Ever even wanting to do. He was able to do that. I mean, went through every school that I think the Marine Corps had to offer. A couple of them broken, and made it through. So I always even though I was out in Phoenix, living my life, raising a family, I always lived through him in the Marine Corps. The camaraderie and the brotherhood you'll never replace, right? Even when you're out. And so message to these guys getting out or anything like that, you know, go find some local Marines in your hometown. Go find those people. They may not have been in your unit. Stay in contact with those guys in your unit. I know you do. There's a lot of guys you guys stay in contact with. And a lot of, surround yourself with those guys. It will help that healing process when the gap's gone. Yeah. That's kind of what we've done. You know, I mean, everybody misses the Marine Corps to some extent, right? And how do you fill that void? We fill it with each other. All of us meet up and
surround yourself with winners.
Right. Surround
yourself with winners, man. Avoid drama queens, weak sauce, the things. Stay away from it, man. Right? I guess that answers that, Seabass.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm tired. I know on my personal channel I've been put back really hard on this narrative that that there's nothing you can do about it. Right. We're up against tremendous odds.
Yeah.
As modern men, we really are. There's a whole system that. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but it's just. And so my overall message I've been trying to really push is just do not despair. That always believe that there's a chance for you to make a better life if you just work for it. And
be wise enough to not take your energy to something that you're not going to fix. The 110-pound white guy.
Love what you do, man.
Yeah, find happiness.
Find something you love to do, and then, and I know it's a cliche to say, you know, I've been in the service industry 20 some years. I enjoy taking care of customers. I don't care what service I offer. I've just enjoyed that. It's always been
I sell stuff that goes boom, and guess what? It's the same feeling.
Right.
I want you to have the best shoulder
experience you could have with the equipment or whatever service we're offering. But, you know, find something to do that you like to do. Find something. Don't base it strictly off of money, because I'll tell you this right now. I know a lot of guys that do a lot of things and make a lot of money. They're not always happy.
Yeah.
Find something to make you happy. Go into trade school. You're getting out of the Marine Corps. You don't have to use the GI Bill for college. Go into trade school.
Yeah.
Hell, appliance repair.
I think
we make anywhere from 25 to, if you're in a big city, $50 an hour.
Yeah, and you know, here's the other thing too. You'll have kids that get out now with student loans because we spent probably 20 years saying a college degree is the only way to success. I get it, but if you get a degree in, you know, gender studies or basket weaving.
If you went for 4 years of college to get a thing, like you said, some nonsense degree, you just wasted time and money.
Right.
You wasted 4 years. You know, and that's the thing. I have a daughter now that's graduated high school last year. She's kind of been putting this whole thing off of going back to school. And, you know, my thing with her is hey, get rolling, because the longer you sit idle, you're not going to crank that motor back up.
Your habits determine your outcomes.
Right. And the difference is, you know, I mean, maybe I'll just go to become a hairdresser. Well, honey, let me be honest with you. Hairdressers are great. Everybody needs a hairdressers. Or do you go to nursing school? Well, to become a hairdresser, that's, you know, you're going to have to put some time in to build clientele. Or go to school to be a nurse, put the 4 years in now and suffer a little. And suffer now. Take that suffering now when you're young. Don't suffer when you're older, man. It's no fun.
I would tell this young man, don't reach for low-hanging fruit.
Right.
You don't have to. You don't have to. And I would also say, if there's things that are outside of your control, don't get worked up about it. People are like, oh, the billionaires need to pay their fair share. Hey, can you fix what's under your own roof? Can you do that? Well, if you can, maybe you can help your neighbor out after that, right? Don't waste time on things that you can't fix.
Right.
Just don't.
Or a breath.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the purpose?
Yeah. I'm getting older, man. I got more days behind me than I got ahead of me.
Right. You know, 50 years old. You'll be 52 here coming up.
Buddy, I'm still in my mid-40s, Jack. Still spry.
Still wake up.
Woo!
Yeah, so just since we're opening the conversation up to bigger topics you just mentioned, like billionaires paying their fair share and stuff. What do you think is a good solution or a good outlet for young people who are feeling frustrated with the system, who are feeling like this isn't working for us? This is not.
Research before you vote. I will say that, because a lot of people vote off of emotion now instead of really go and research who you're voting for, man.
Because people are frustrated. What I'm trying to say is that people are very frustrated with the way things are and the way things have been going. And the value of the American dollar is just really, the buying power is not what it used to be. So making $20 an hour now it used to be awesome. That used to be like really good cheddar. But now after you pay taxes and everything, anyway, my
cost of living, right?
Okay,
right.
So I'm not going to try to go down the voting thing too deep, but this is what I will say.
Sure.
Look at their voting record, and you'll see where they stand. You want to tell me if a politician's good or bad? Just go look at their voting record. If it resonates with you, and that's where you want to cast your vote, great. But I will tell you this: your field. If you're 18 to 24 right now, the field you're competing with is not strong. When I say work harder, it's not hard to work harder and outshine somebody. And if you do that, you're going to be the master of your own destiny, right? And if you get out here, you're making $200,000 a year, you're making $150,000 a year, you're getting a salary job, you're employing other people, you're doing the thing, right? That is some personal freedom to where you can give this to the man, right? And in that, if you're a really good human being, okay, I'm winning here. Let me help this guy out here. Let me help this girl out here, right? That's how you give your gift. And those are the people that I want to see as Americans, climb in our society. And those are the people that start to look to run for office.
Yeah, don't quit trying to pull down. Let's raise up a little bit.
Yeah. And stop worrying about the guy above you, because you're probably not in a position where you control that. If you ever do get in that position, okay.
And it's usually going to bite you in the ass if you try to do something about it.
Then you can show your body of work and be like, look, I made it from nothing, and here I am. So, lived it, breathed it.
Owe nobody anything.
Yeah, I don't owe nobody shit.
Don't owe anybody anything. Do it yourself. And you'll figure it out. It's not going to be easy.
It's the journey.
And put yourself in some real uncomfortable situations, because that right there builds character. I don't care what anybody says. Uncomfortable situations build a man's character and build a woman's character too.
Yeah.
Right?
Are there any defining moments that you can think of that you've had where you had a choice between comfort or suffering, where you said, this is going to be hard, but I'm going to do it? Whether it was a move?
Choice to go in the Marine Corps.
Okay.
To me, when I went in the Marine Corps, man, it was more. I was tired of. I knew I had made comfortable choices for 18 years.
And you were in thick with some really bad.
Oh,
dudes.
buddy, I ran with jackals. Majority of the people I grew up with are dead or in prison. To be honest, I mean all of them dead, overdosed, in prison. And I saw that stuff. I mean, and I saw my parents, and I think that's the biggest thing, man. Is I said, you know what? I made myself a promise as a kid, even though I didn't make some of the greatest decisions. I said when I was a kid, I will never be the parent they are, or I won't be a parent at all.
Yeah.
But the Marine Corps was kind of my defining moment. When I went in the Marine Corps and I realized, man, there's more to me than what I ever even knew was inside. And there's not anybody on this planet will tell me I can't do something or I'm not able. I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah. And I accept challenge, right?
It's almost like this, man. It's almost like, hey, I'm going to burn the bridge behind me because there's no fucking retreat.
Yeah.
It's only this way.
I can't go back.
There is no backwards.
I've already been there, Jack, and there's nothing on that road.
There's nothing there.
Right.
So you just got to keep moving, man.
Keep the gas pedal down.
Yes.
You're going to hit some bumps, but as long as you're moving forward, you'll roll over them.
It's like it's almost like your own personal beach landing at World War II. The ramp's coming down.
Ain't no stopping it.
And there's a machine gun laid right on where you landed.
You can sit there and get
there.
Picked to pieces, or you can make a move and hopefully survive.
Yeah.
Make a move, survive.
And here's the thing. It's easy to call out the man in the arena. So don't get distracted by people that are sitting up in the seats that have never done anything. You sit up there with your gut and your cotton candy vape, with your fucking opinion and your gut resting
about how the game should have been played.
Yeah, it's like, don't ever call out the man in the arena. You fight no fights. You stand for nothing. You're hollow and you suck. And if I failed, right, or if I fell on my way to heading in the right direction, at least I know my brothers are going to pick me up on my shield and carry me.
Ain't nobody going to let you act.
And I can live with that. Best thing I think you could something to say to me, that dude went out.
I mean, I've had my down days. I'll get a call from the cuz. It doesn't take too long. He's not going to let me be like that.
No, you're going out on your shield, man, and that's okay.
I love what you said just a second ago about getting away from those jackals, because that people don't like to be that honest, right? But there are people who will just bring you down, and if you don't get the hell away from them, because in my opinion, right, making your life better isn't about creating a list of things to do. It's actually creating a long list of things not to do anymore. Don't hang out with these people. Don't put these things in your body anymore. Like, it seriously is that simple. That's where the self-discipline comes in. To me, the self-discipline is defined as being able to say no to your...
I grew up with a bunch of rich kids that parents had more money than they knew what to do with. And, I had a buddy of mine. He was on a $200 a day allowance in the 90s. $200 a day you were handing a 17-year-old kid with a brand new BMW to go ride around. What the hell you think we were going to do?
Yeah.
Smoke dope, ride around, hopefully not get in trouble. But I sat back. I mean, that was my Marine Corps. I knew that nothing was ever going to happen on that angle. And I said, man, I'm out of here. I got to make a decision to make a move to better my life, because I'll tell you, I didn't have one. I didn't get offered a very good shot at life from the get-go. So I had to go and do it for myself. He had to go do it for himself, and we did. And I'm not saying we're probably, when they say Uncle Sam's misguided children, well, they've clearly got two of them.
Yeah, nobody showed up on them yellow footprints with a silver spoon. There ain't no doubt about that.
No.
Ain't no doubt about that, man.
No.
And I'd like to think, close out with this, just because you start out a lap down doesn't mean you can't finish a lap up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Don't get in your head about thinking about what you've lost or what you could have had or what you should have had.
I'll give you another one. I'll give you one that I always tell these kids when we play basketball. We lost the championship game. We've lost some games, and I always look at them and what can you fix about that game? What can you go back and make it change to be different? Nothing. You can't change the past, but what you can do is fix the mistakes you made so they don't happen again. And you can fix that game. You just have to do it next time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was always how I got better when I was still fighting. Whenever I'd lose a fight, I'd say, okay, what do I need to work on?
Where was my mistake?
And I need to work on that. It's so simple. Right. It's not easy, but it is very simple. You just work on what you need to work on, and you be super honest with yourself. And I think that's true for the rest of life too. Just if your life sucks, just look at like you always say, shoot the duck closest to the boat.
It's the shark, but close.
Right?
The Duke. It's the shark, but yes.
You guys want to close out?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I think we've hit it all, man. Cuz it's been good having you on the JC and Bo show.
Well, sorry, I'm not the other Bo. It's hard to fill the illustrious first sergeant's shoes.
Buddy, son, listen. Everybody listen.
Hey,
it's the fucking truth.
Don't be a pussy.
Fuck him. That's something else we have in common. And, we can close in this is Bodette was both of our SOI instructors.
No way.
Yes.
How
yes.
was that? Please leave us with a story from that.
Well, I'll tell you some funny ones. But, I mean, it's... JC will tell it too. JC went to SOI.
So I went through first. I joined first, and I told this story on the JC and Bo show, but I remember SOI is miserable. I just remember the smell of the green all rain suit,
right,
and the all weather bag, the
old musty rubber,
the rubber bag that would keep your sleeping bag dry. Well, every one of those bags had a hole in them, and you had these old green sleeping bags, and if I just went like this and spit on that sleeping bag,
the whole thing would absorb.
It would go from 5 pounds to 50. And we're in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, where other than the Verona Loop training area, everything's this. Verona Loop, there's a couple roads that go like this. So we're in a hike, it's raining, it's everything that breaks privates, right? Because you just so fucking clueless, just keep walking. And up walks this fucking sergeant. And he's got a fucking scar on his face.
Hey, gnarly looking dude.
Half a can of Copenhagen, like salty stained camis, not sweating. I'm dying. Not. He goes, you want some advice? Of course, I don't want to talk to this fucking caveman. I just want to be left the fuck alone. He goes, teach a man to be a lot of things. Can't teach a man to not be a pussy. So you want some advice? Don't be a fucking pussy. You know, I'm proud of myself because I can look back and I can see a bunch of Marines dying. And here I am with a fucking machine gun on my back. And I'm like, just keep fucking one foot in front of the other. And, you know, and I could go up, you know, you've got plenty of me and Bo stories. But that was the first time that I met Bo.
The best one I had him, he was my platoon sergeant as an 11 and at SOI. And I'll never forget, we would go do one of those pack movements, and we had Kenny Haskins.
He's a bad dude too.
Big dude. And man, he's running us, and we're gear and stuff, and we come back boots and utes. And I don't know what it was. There was about 5 of us. All had a limp, plantar fasciitis, right? Well, everything's flared up. So they send us over to the base medical to get looked at. Well, hell, I come out of there, and they hand me a piece of paper. They're trying to send me over to physical conditioning to go rehab my foot.
Drop it in training.
Drop me in training, 3 weeks to graduate. And I go back and I handed it to Bodette. He said, "Shut that door. You want a beer?" I said, "Well, I'm not even 21 yet." And he goes, "I don't give a fuck. You want a beer?" He goes, "They're trying to send you over to physical." So he loads me up. We get about halfway to the physical conditioning platoon. And he looked at me and he goes, "Hey, you really want to go here?" And I said, "Hell no, Sergeant, I don't want to go here." And he goes, "Fuck it." Wadded that piece of paper up, threw it in the floorboard. He goes, "I'm going to call the first sergeant." Turns me around. He goes, "You got 3 weeks. Get that foot through." And I'll tell you, man, it fucking hurt, but I made it through.
Hell yeah.
Otherwise, I'd have been dropped in training.
Yeah.
And pushed somewhere else. But once again, it was the same thing. Don't be a pussy. Don't be a pussy.
Yeah.
You got this. 3 weeks left. Don't be a pussy.
Yep.
That's fucking outstanding.
And that's still his MO.
He's still that way.
That hasn't changed.
He's the same guy.
But we'll be in a bar or we'll be somewhere where there's somebody less fortunate, and Bill Bodette will be the first guy to be like,
"Oh, I'll never forget. He looked at me when I started the business. He's like, let me give you $40. I'm like, I don't need any money right now. God damn it, you take it. You know, he's just like that. He's just a good dude.
Somebody's down on their luck. Yeah. Bill Bodette will pick somebody up.
Right when I started right before I set off to start living in my van in Florida, he gave me a cooler. He said, "Seabass, you take this. You keep your drinks cool."
Givers give, takers take. Bill Bodette's a giver.
He is a mythical animal. He is a legend.
I like to say there's only 2 human beings I can ever really truly say out that aren't my family. I could say they broke the mold, and Bodette's one of them. There is not another man on this planet that's got that anywhere like him. That's for sure,
buddy.
We all respected him. You all feared him as a platoon sergeant, but you knew what? When it came down, when shit got tough, he was always the one there. Always the one there. He'd be there for anybody.
Who's got a dip?
If you had Copenhagen, you were his
Now
best friend.
he won't give away no fucking Copenhagen. He'll give just about anything, but there's a solid chance he might say, "Who's got a dip?" But I love Bo. You know, obviously everyone knows the impact he's had on me.
Absolutely.
But it's crazy that me and my cousin, he calls me. He's like, and I'd go over to visit because I was already in the fleet. I was a machine gunner in 1-2, and I'd go over and visit. And I'm like, he was on duty, and he's like, I was like, "Yeah, my cousin's here." He goes, "Yeah, they got a hike in the morning." He goes, "But I'll let you see him. Come on in, come on in." I'm like, "That's your platoon sergeant?" Yeah, I said, "Motherfucker." And I would tell stories, but yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. No, he was definitely, I'll tell you, I mean, that was, if the Marine Corps could put that type of guy in front of every young Marine coming in the Marine Corps, you would have a stronger Marine Corps.
It's hard to come by.
Very hard to come by. That type of leadership and that type of, how do I say it? Moxie. I mean, he has that. So, I mean, it was always, he was always fast, and he'd get in a motherfucker's ass real quick.
I will always tell you, everything is an art and a science. I would say there is a lot more to be said for the art than the science.
Sure.
And the art of leading people, I second to none. I mean, he's great.
You can't be taught it.
You can't be taught it.
No, it comes natural. It comes natural.
In another age, he would have been a war chief. Just one of those guys.
Yeah. He'd have been a Ragnar.
Yeah,
he'd have been a Ragnar.
No bullshit.
Red Cloud.
Right.
Setting Bull.
Setting Bull. Setting Bull.
You name it, buddy.
It's in your blood. I really do think that it's in your blood.
Right. He probably was in a former life. I'm pretty sure he probably was a gladiator at one time.
Yep.
Well, thank you for your time, gentlemen. This show has become something really special to me, and if you could just do a quick shout out to your company. You want to close with that?
Yeah, well, hey, today's show is sponsored by our good friends at the Appliance Brothers LLC, servicing the greater Kanawha and Putnam Valley. So if your appliances are on the fritz, you want speedy service with a smile, and you want shit done right, look no further than the Cuz and the Appliance Brothers.
I appreciate you, buddy.
Out here.